Relax. You are loved. Close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe deeply and evenly. Relax and listen to my voice. Breathe in and breathe out. You're breathing deeply and evenly. As you focus on your breathing, you notice how your breathing is slowing down. You feel warm, loved, and comfortable. You release all of the tension from your body and just let it drop. You feel heavy, warm, comfortable, loved, and very, very relaxed. You will listen to my voice as I tell you a story. And as I tell the story, you will drift off into almost sleep. Almost asleep, but still able to hear my voice. Now breathe in and breathe out. Just relax into your breathing. Just let it breathe. Let it go. You feel warm, loved, and comfortable. Relax. You are loved. Your body is becoming more and more relaxed. You feel your feet are heavy and relaxed. And this feeling of warmth and relaxation is now spreading up your calves, to your thighs, up your hips, over your abdomen. You feel your behind sinking into the bed as it becomes very relaxed. All the tension from your muscles is letting go. Up your stomach, and your chest is now very relaxed as you breathe deeply and evenly, calmly and slowly, breathing in and out. This feeling of relaxation is into your shoulders as you let go of the tension in your shoulders and just let them sink back into the bed. Your upper arms now feel very, very heavy as they become relaxed. Your lower arms and your hands are now very relaxed and letting go of all their tension. This calm feeling of relaxation is traveling up your neck to your head. Your head feels so heavy. You feel it sinking into the pillow. Now focus on your forehead and feel the tension in there let go. Release any tension around your eyes and relax the muscles in your cheeks. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth, and just let your jaw relax. You're feeling very calm and very relaxed. This is a very pleasant feeling. You feel warm, loved, and comfortable. Feel yourself drifting in the soft blackness as you become more and more relaxed. You're floating and drifting. You focus on my voice. You enjoy listening to my voice. My voice is putting you into a trance. As you sink deeper and deeper into this feeling, you enjoy this feeling of being completely relaxed. You feel calm, warm, and comfortable. Your bed feels very comfortable. You're breathing deeply and evenly. You feel feelings of warmth and relaxation spreading throughout your entire body, and your mind is drifting deeper and deeper into a trance. You are going to sleep. You are falling asleep into almost sleep, but not completely. You can still hear my voice. Whenever your thoughts begin to wander, this is your cue to focus on my voice. You enjoy listening to my voice. You enjoy obeying my voice. You are loved, and all is well. Now listen to my voice as I tell you a story. Imagine yourself, it is nighttime, and you are sitting in a wooden chair on the deck of a small cabin. It is cool, but not too cool. You're very comfortable in a light jacket. And as you sit in the calm nighttime, you breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in through your nose, you smell the light scent of pine trees. This is a very pleasant smell. The air is very moist, slightly damp, and you feel it fresh and cool upon your face. It's very dark, and you can hear the crickets chirping. It has been a long day, and you feel very, very tired as you sit on the wooden chair on the porch and look out into the darkness ahead of you. From the light of the porch, you can just make out the faint outline of some pine trees in the front yard ahead of you. You are on a mountain, and past the pine trees, far, far away, you see some small lights going by from the highway, a long way from the house, tiny pinpricks of light below you and many yards away, going by as people go about their business, but they are very far away from you. You are far away from all the hustle and bustle that is the city. You are calm, quiet, and relaxed. You feel very tired as you sit in your chair. Your muscles feel slightly achy, but this is a good feeling. It is the good feeling of tired you get from a day of happy activity and getting things done. You feel satisfied within yourself for being a good person who got a lot of things done today. And you breathe in the clean, fresh air from the mountain pine trees, and you enjoy this feeling. All is quiet, all is still, and all is well. So you feel very still, very calm, very quiet, and your mind is at rest. You're not really thinking about anything. You're just enjoying the calm relaxation of being at your little cabin up in the mountains. Your mind begins to drift and wander, drift and wander. As you stare at the faint outlines of the pine trees, and down below, far, far away, the little pinpricks of light that are the cars on the highway going back and forth. And your mind drifts and wanders, and you stare at the pine trees. And it is a moment of blissful, perfect, serene silence. You don't know if this moment is going to last forever or a minute more. You do not concern yourself with when or where you should go to bed that night. You're just perfectly happy to sit perfectly still and be in this moment where you are calm, serene, and completely relaxed. As your vision blurs and you no longer focus on any one thing, just enjoying the peaceful silence with the occasional chirping of crickets, enjoying the smell of the pine trees and the cool, moist feeling of the night air on your face. Your eyelids begin to feel very heavy. But wait, you open your eyes and you notice something very strange in front of you. There is a spot in front of you that is more dark than the darkness that surrounds you. Somehow this seems very strange to you. You think perhaps there is something wrong with your eyes. So you rub your eyes and squint them shut really tight and open them, and the spot is still there. So again, you close them. You begin to feel a little uneasy, a little odd, a little strange. You close your eyes and breathe deeply and evenly. And you think to yourself, I am perfectly safe. There is no danger. And you sit and you focus on your breathing. You breathe in and breathe out. You are warm, loved, and comfortable. And you wait for a minute, maybe two. You're not sure how long. And hope if you feel calm inside, when you open your eyes, the dark spot will be gone. So you wait very quietly, breathing deeply and evenly. You open your eyes, and the spot, about 2 feet in front of your face, and about as big around as a basketball, is still darker than any other space around you. Staying very calm and breathing deeply and evenly, you reach out for the dark spot. And when you touch it, it feels hard and cold, like a billiard ball. And there it is, just hovering 2 feet in front of your face. You pull your hand back, look at your fingers. There's nothing wrong there. You are safe. You are perfectly safe and secure. You have nothing to be afraid of. You reach out again and touch the dark spot. From what you see of it, it does not look very distinct, but when you touch it, it feels hard and cold and smooth as you run both hands around it now, feeling its surface. Perplexed, you let your hands drop loosely in your lap, feeling very relaxed, and just stare at the dark spot. You ask it a question. You say, "What are you?" But it does not answer. And you just sit there feeling very calm, very relaxed, and watching it, for you don't know how long. It could have been minutes, could have been many minutes. Well, after a time, you decide perhaps you're bored with this and you're going to go to bed. But as you stand up, the dark spot comes up too, and it's still 2 feet in front of your face. You turn to walk towards the screen door to go into your cabin, yet the dark spot is still 2 feet in front of your face. You reach out to push it aside so you can open the door to go into your cabin, and it will not budge. You push it as hard as you can, but you cannot move it. Perplexed, you stand there and scratch your head, not knowing exactly what to do. But then the dark spot begins to glow. Very pale blue glow starts in the middle of the dark spot. Just a tiny spark at first. You look and have a hard time making out if it's even there. Yet this little glimmer begins to glow and grow until it is about the size of a basketball, a faintly, softly glowing blue ball. You reach out to touch it, and this time it feels very strange indeed. It feels fuzzy, almost in an electric way. It's not a very pleasant feeling to touch it, so you pull your hand back and let it drop by your side. There is a strange smell coming off it, almost like ozone. It smells almost like the lamp. When you were a child, there was a lamp that the wiring burnt, and it gave a small, strange smell. And then the ball begins to make a very, very faint buzzing noise. And you listen, and your jaw falls open in amazement staring at this. You're not sure what you should do, so you just stand there. Then you back up a step or two, and it follows you. Soon, the ball goes dark again and begins to move farther and farther away from your face until it floats in the air, across the porch, down the steps, and falls to the grass with a thud. You walk across the steps, down onto the lawn, where the grass is wet with fresh dew. You can smell the fresh, clean grass with the dew on it. And you reach down and you touch the dark spot, and again it is hard and smooth and still. It begins to roll away from you towards the path that leads to the driveway. Very curious, you follow the round thing as it rolls down the path, and you see your feet walking along the path, and you can hear the little stones. The path is made out of smooth little stones, kind of a fancy gravel. It wasn't cheap, but you enjoyed it at the time. So you're walking along the path, and you hear your feet going crunch, crunch, crunch underneath your old, comfortable, faded, worn slippers. And you follow the ball as it crunches along the path, rolling about 4 feet ahead of you. You follow it, ignoring everything else around you now. You are fascinated by this thing. And the path goes on for about 20 yards as it curves around the front yard into the driveway, which is just a plain dirt driveway that slopes down to a plain dirt path that's a little dirt road that leads to the highway. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You look down and watch your feet in the darkness. You're a little uneasy going too fast, yet as fast as you walk seems to be about as fast as the round thing rolls about 4 or 5 feet ahead of you. You follow it, and you follow it into the driveway, and then down the sloping dirt driveway. The dirt under your feet is a little sandy and a little damp, and it has some small stones in it. And you follow that path watching your feet in your old favorite slippers. You watch your feet pacing, and you're careful where you step. You don't want to fall down in the darkness, for you are here alone. And you follow the round ball down until it comes to the dirt road. The dirt road is mostly gravel, with some muddy patches and puddles. It had been raining earlier that day, and everything is fresh and lush and green. You can smell the trees and the pine trees and the leaves and the rich foliage that's growing along the side of the road as you follow the ball as it crunches onto the gravel of the dirt road. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You feel the sharp rocks digging into the bottom of your old favorite comfortable slippers as you follow this ball down the path. You follow it down the path, and now you're walking towards the highway. You think, how long should this go on? And you consider turning back. You stop for a moment. You stop for a moment and look back towards the cabin and think, perhaps I should just go to bed. It's starting to get a little chilly out. It's awful late. I don't know how long I've been sitting on the porch. It's getting very dark. Perhaps I should just go home and go to bed and leave the dark thing alone. And as you look, as you stop and ponder, you notice that the dark thing has stopped too. So you take a step, and again the dark thing has started to roll. So crunch, crunch along the path. On either side of the dirt road are ditches, swollen with water from today's rain. You can hear the bullfrogs croaking in them. They are lined with bulrushes, and down here, out of the trees some, there's a bit of a faint breeze, and you can hear the wind rustling through the bulrushes, and this is a very pleasant sound. As you concentrate on the dark thing rolling ahead of you, and you put one foot in front of the other, feeling the sharp rocks on the bottom of your favorite old warm comfortable slippers. As you go along the path, this seems to be going on for a very long time, as you step, 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 careful to avoid the puddles, careful not to fall over, with the dark thing about 4 or 5 feet rolling ahead of you. Then, the dark thing, as you're coming to the highway, you can see the lights are getting closer, and you can hear the sound of cars going by on the highway. And you think, well, perhaps once it gets to the highway, other people can see it, and then people won't think perhaps I've lost my mind. So on you go, crunch, 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 getting closer and closer to the highway, which is now only about 30 yards ahead. Then, the dark thing stops for one moment, and it turns right onto a little footpath that is winding away from the gravel path. So you follow the dark thing. This path is overgrown with weeds and bushes and is only a few inches wide. You think perhaps the path was made by rabbits, for it doesn't look like the type of path that a person should be walking on. And the dark thing rises and begins to float about 3 feet in the air, about 4 or 5 feet ahead of you. And it's floating along, and on either side of the path there are bushes, small trees, and tall grass. There's a little bit of a breeze down here, and they all move and sway, hearing them rustling in the wind. You can hear crickets and strange other buzzing insects in the trees and in the grass. And you follow the dark thing, and you follow it and follow it. This is going on for a very long time. You think, I'm very tired. Perhaps I should turn around and go back to the house. I'm beginning to get lost. I'm not sure where it's taking me. You think this as the path curves around to the right and begins to go uphill. Goes uphill and starts getting steeper and steeper, but it's a little wider. There are big rocks and boulders in the path that you have to climb over and get around, go around and climb over, as the dark thing floats about 4 feet off the ground. You climb and climb and climb, until in the end you look up and you realize that the dark thing is hovering at the top of a hill. It is hovering at the top of a hill about 6 feet off the ground. You get to the top of the hill, where there are no more trees or bushes, just tall grass. You stand in the tall grass at the top of the tall hill, and you look around to see where the highway is. And you look around to see where the highway is. And you stand, and you just breathe. You just breathe in and breathe out, and you look into the darkness around you, and you feel a fresh, cool breeze on your face as you look in all directions, and you see only darkness all around you. And then the dark thing begins to glow again, and it begins to elongate into an oval, and you stand staring, quite amazed, as it turns into an oval, and then into a cylinder, and then it squishes itself together into a long stick of very bright light. The stick of very bright light is about 2 feet long and about 1 inch wide, and it's about 3 feet from your face, and it is glowing with a very, very intense bright light, so bright you have to squint. You have a hard time looking at it. It is so bright you have to close your eyes against the brightness. You stand there for a few moments, and you breathe in and you breathe out, and you tell yourself, there is no danger. I am completely safe. You breathe in and you breathe out. And as you open your eyes, you see the stick is growing longer and longer. It's about 4 feet long now, and still getting longer. It's getting longer until it's about 6 feet long. And then, suddenly, the light goes out, and it clangs down into the grass with a very loud metallic sound. And you look at it, and it just looks like a 6-foot-long metal rod sitting there in the grass. Very ordinary. You reach down and sit in the grass. It is cold and damp on your behind as you sit in the grass. And you pick up the metal rod. It is not heavy. It's unusually light, surprisingly light, as you sit in the grass, and the grass comes up around your shoulders, and in the breeze you feel it move and sway, and move and sway. You put the rod down beside you, and you look up at the sky, and the clouds have begun to part, and there's a very bright full moon. And you look up at the clouds. There's just a couple fluffy, dark, charcoal gray clouds with little silver linings floating across the sky. And you look at the very big moon, and you ask the moon, what's going on? But the moon, as the moon always does, just stares silently at you and does not answer. So you decide that you're going to take this metal rod home and perhaps examine it in the daytime to see exactly what it's made of. So you pick up the metal rod and you begin to very carefully pick your way down the little path with the big rocks and the big boulders, carrying the metal rod with you. And you go down and down the path and around the corner and onto the little rabbit path. You're following the little rabbit path, and you listen to the breeze swish and blow, and you begin to feel better as you're walking along the little path, swinging your very light metal rod with you. It feels secure in your hand. It makes you feel safer, for off in the distance you hear coyotes baying, or perhaps it's wolves. You realize you've gone very, very far from home, alone at night. You have no cell phone or anything to call if you're injured, and you realize you've been quite silly, yet you've seen something very amazing that you want to find out more about. But then you think, won't it be silly? I'm going to show this very ordinary looking light metal rod to people and tell them it was an amazing thing, and nobody's going to believe me. Luckily, you're going to be at the cabin for a while, so you think you have time to perhaps solve the mysteries in their own sweet time. So you walk along the path, and the grass swishes up around your legs, and you come to the dirt road, and your slippers are very damp now, and your feet are getting quite cold. You walk onto the dirt road and turn left, and begin crunching on the gravel, watching your feet crunch, 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 being careful where you step, carrying the metal rod. Crunch, 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 you watch your feet walking and walking along the path until you come to your driveway that curves uphill towards your front lawn for your cabin. So again, hiking up, up, up you go, up your driveway to the little fancy gravel path, and your slippers sink into the gravel just a little bit, and the little pebbles feel very smooth and round beneath your feet and make a much nicer crunching sound as you walk along the little path that curves across the front lawn to your front porch again. When you get to your front porch, you decide you're very tired. You're not sure what time it is, but it's getting so late you're beginning to worry that before you go to bed, the sun might come up, and you don't want to still be awake when the sun comes up. The drapes in your little cabin aren't very good and don't keep the light out very well, and you're not very good at napping in the daylight, so you want to get some sleep. You've had a long day and you've done a lot of work, and you're beginning to feel very, very tired. So you take the metal rod with you and you decide it's time to go to bed. So when you open the front door to your little cabin, you're going to look around and you see it's really just one big room. To your left is a little countertop with a sink and a small fridge. In front of the sink is a round rug, very old, very faded, and just a little dirty. It has pictures of roses on it. This is something perhaps your grandmother would have had. In front of the countertop and the fridge is a small table, no bigger than to fit 2 or 3 people, a little small round card table, and it has 3 wooden chairs around it, like the ones that are on the front porch. These chairs are very old, worn, antique wooden chairs that look like they may fall apart any time soon. If you walk between the countertop and the little table, there's only about 2 feet space, and then to the right, in that space of the room, there's an old wood stove. It's almost gone out. You smell the smell of ashes and wood chips and smoke. This is a good smell. You breathe in through your nose and enjoy the smells of your little cabin, and you breathe out. In front of the wood stove are 2 very old, very worn, lazy boy chairs with holes in the upholstery. They're both green and faded in color and made out of burlap, or so you think. You think maybe that material's called something else, but you can't remember what. To you, it reminds you of potato sacks. And then, just to the right of the two old green chairs is a single bed. And the single bed has two very large, very soft pillows and a down comforter on it. It also has very fresh white sheets that smell a little bit like bleach. You are so tired. You take your clothes off and you strip right down to your underwear, and you do not have time to get your pajamas on because you suddenly feel so very heavy and very, very tired. You take the big metal rod and you place it down beside your bed, and you're going to take off your shirt, and you're going to take off your pants and your slippers. You weren't wearing any socks with your slippers, and your feet have become damp and cold, and they look a little white, maybe bluish white, fish belly white, you think, as you look at your poor, blue, cold feet that are a little wrinkly, and you realize how your whole body feels kind of damp and cold, and it aches, achy right through to the bones. You're so tired and so exhausted. And you pull back the fluffy white down comforter, and you climb in between the very crisp, clean white sheets that smell just a little bit like bleach, but that's a good smell to you. You breathe in and breathe out and enjoy that smell. The mattress underneath is perhaps a little too soft, but you enjoy it just the same. It has several layers of foam on top of it, so you don't feel the springs pushing through, and your body sinks as the foam melds around you, and you feel like you are floating on a cloud as you pull the down duvet up under your chin and feel its light warmth over your entire body. And you breathe in and breathe out, and you relax. And this is the most comfortable bed you've ever felt in your entire life. It feels as if you are floating on a cloud as your body begins to warm up. You feel it in your toes first. Your toes begin to feel very, very warm and very relaxed and very heavy. And then this feeling of warmth and relaxation travels up your calves and up your thighs. You feel you're getting very, very warm, very relaxed, very comfortable. It goes up past your hips and your lower abdomen, and you feel very heavy, very tired. So tired you ache. You long to fall asleep. You want to go to sleep. You enjoy falling asleep as the feeling of warmth and relaxation travels up your upper belly to your chest as you're breathing deeply and evenly. You breathe in and breathe out, and you focus on your breathing and notice how your breathing is slowing down, getting deeper and slower as you're drifting off to sleep. You wonder about the metal bar beside the bed for a moment. Your mind drifts over to that, and you say, no, I'll think about that tomorrow night. I'll think about the metal bar next time and find out what's going to happen with it. But for now, this is time I've set aside just to go to sleep. So you feel the feelings of warmth and relaxation up into your shoulders as your shoulders sink back into the soft bed, and up your neck and down your arms. Your arms feel so heavy, so heavy, so tired. They begin to ache with heavy tiredness, and this is a very pleasant feeling. This is a very pleasant feeling to be so tired you can hardly move, feel so heavy. very, very relaxed, very, very comfortable. And you say, there is no danger, I am perfectly safe. And you feel your forehead relax, your eyes let go of their tension, and the feeling of relaxation spreads to your cheeks, and your cheeks become completely relaxed. Your jaw drops as you unclench your teeth and let go of all the tension in your jaw. You breathe in and breathe out, and your mind becomes very, very clear, very clean, and still. You feel yourself floating in the soft blackness. This is a wonderful feeling as you're drifting off to sleep. You're falling asleep. You're almost asleep, but not quite. You can still hear my voice as you breathe in and breathe out and concentrate on the empty spaces between my words. Breathing deeply and evenly, and knowing what's going on with the stick is going to wait for another day. You'll be able to find out tomorrow, but for now, it is time to fall into a deep, deep sleep. My voice is putting you into a trance. You are going to sleep. You are going to have a long, sound sleep, and tomorrow you will wake up feeling refreshed and energized. Breathe in and breathe out. Let your mind drift and wander, drift and wander. Your mind behind your mind can hear what I'm saying. You want to go to sleep. You enjoy listening to my voice. You are going to fall into a deep, deep sleep. You will have a long, sound sleep, and tomorrow, wake up feeling refreshed and energized. You are warm, loved, and comfortable. You are loved, and all is well. You have nothing to be afraid of. You are completely safe and secure. This is a very pleasant feeling. Drift off into the soft blackness. Feel yourself drifting deeper and deeper into this feeling. You enjoy this feeling. You are going to sleep. You will have a long, sound sleep. Relax. You are loved. More stories later. Good night.